also a little bit challenging because, you know, not every one of your friends is totally supportive. Some girls say like, why are you doing this? Why are you spending so much time on this? This is hard, this is difficult, you know, why do you need any of this? And yet, you know, and they go and they hang out and they eat, they party and whatever. And what you girls do, you come to my basement in the dark, the cold basement, and you shiver and you, no, it's not so bad. And you work away, you just work away and you plow forward to, and do something that's really, really challenging and new to all of you. So, you know, that's a big round of applause for all of you, despite everything. So really, what you're doing is you guys are going beyond your comfort zone, and that's what we Jews are all about. It's easy to just not do anything. It's easy not to take on new projects. It's easy to just sit at home and eat bonbons. But what you, I know, it's like my favorite thing, because maybe I really love bonbons, and that's what I would love to do, is just sit and eat bonbons. And how often do I do that? I never do that. So it's easy, but you guys have taken the hard route, and you went beyond your comfort zone, which is, and it was not always comfortable to be doing what you're doing. So I want to talk just about a few things that really stood out about this team. The first thing is not giving up. I think this is a lesson that you guys learned. In the beginning, every 5 seconds, Mrs. Bloom, how do I do this? It's not working. Mrs. Bloom, the robot is broken. The software is broken, Mrs. Bloom. And then a little while later, every 5 minutes, Mrs. Bloom. And then every 10 minutes. And pretty soon I could even make a whole dinner, and nobody was Mrs. Blooming me. So you guys were just like at it. You gave it your all. Nowadays, I find that kids give up very easily. I don't know if you found that to be true or not. Every once in a while. It's easy to like, I don't know how this works. I'm not going to do this anymore. But what you've learned is to just keep going, keep going. And we had one mission that was very elusive, the car mission. And Esther and Rena, Esther and Rena, kudos to you. You just kept at it. You kept at it. And you know what? At the end, it didn't work perfectly, but I was so happy to see you guys. And, you know, like sometimes I would say, why don't we give it another try? And you're like, okay, let's do it. Let's change this. Let's add this arm. Let's add this thing. And then Devorah and Hadar got into action, and Menucha and Emuna, I mean, like all of you had a piece of that truck. And that's really, really commendable that you kept at it. You weren't giving up. The other thing that I noticed is taking something and running with it. Like in the beginning, it was very difficult for you to show initiative. I mean, the older girls, they've already done it before, so they were doing it. But like the younger girls and the new girls, it was very hard for you to take initiative and running with it. But as the year progressed, I saw more and more. Okay, I can do this. This needs to be done. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. The project, you know, Reina just ran with the project. She took it by the horns and she flew with it. And Hadar, I mean, like all the girls, as the year progressed, you took more initiative and became independent workers. And that's, you know, how it is in life. You have to be independent. So I want to talk about, and Devorah also. I want to mention Devorah, her super duper arm builder. You knew what needed to be done. You saw it. You could look at what needs to be done, imagine it in 3 dimensions, and you just ran with it. And 3 years ago, would you have imagined building such arms?
No.
I used to pick up your arms and they would fall apart in my hands. And now the arms and attachments you build are just amazing. So, you know, as the time goes by, as you get used to doing this and become more familiar with it, you definitely get better. So I want to speak a little bit about the competitions. I am so proud of all of you. It took a team effort. You would not have gotten to where you got without working as a team. You worked really hard, especially in the last couple of weeks and in the weeks between the two competitions. And you guys were solid. You were solid across the board. And that's what the judges really like. A solid performance. The project, the teamwork, the robot. I mean, everything was just solid. And you won. You moved on to the state competition, which is huge. It's huge. You were one of 40 teams out of 260 that moved on. Do you know how many teams didn't even make it to the initial competitions because they couldn't pull it together? There are a lot more than 260 teams who tried to be a team, and they couldn't even get to the first competition because they just couldn't pull it together. So, you know, kudos to all of you. You guys had exceptional teamwork and huge smiles from ear to ear. Like at the final, the state competition, when they won their inspiration award, the woman said they walked into the room and they just lit up the room. And it's true, they walked in like happy, you know, happiness flowing out of them. And that's really important. And I've told this to Hadar before. Oh, you're leaving?
Yeah.
Bye. Your face is public property. So it's out there for the public to see. You put on a big smile and this is what people see. That's exactly what the judges saw. What they saw is a cohesive team who cares about each other, who works together, who cheers for every single point. In the final, in the state competition, the robot was misbehaving. It's okay, you know, I mean, it happens. But what did you do? You cheered for each other, every single point. And despite the hurt that you felt inside because the robot wasn't behaving, you were still like at the top of the world. And the judges saw it. They saw all of that. They knew that you weren't happy, and instead of crying and falling apart and, you know, not able to deal with it, you just, you know, kept going. Big smile and move forward. You do need to work a little bit on thinking fast on your feet, but it's okay, you know, it will come. And this is one problem that you encountered with the robot. You know, think like, okay, things aren't working. How do we fix it? Fast on your feet. You know, it comes with training. You can't expect to do everything, but it's okay. It's okay. It will come. Also, the jig. I don't know if your daughters have told you. Oh, I sent out an email around, but their jig broke in the qualifying competition, and somebody from another team knocked the jig over and it broke. And instead of falling apart and screaming and punching the other team or whatever it is that they could have done, they pulled it together, they looked at pictures, they worked hard, and people are watching. You never know who's watching. Hashem is watching for sure, but so is everyone else.
Can I just say something? I was standing right there when that happened, and
Yeah.
I was shocked at how these girls, I just stood there and I was really brought to tears thinking like, these girls picked up the pieces, they didn't get upset. Sometimes we get upset quickly, and it taught me like, take a minute, like just in my own things, to just take a minute, because if these girls that are, you know, under pressure and they're picking these things up from the floor and they're like working together, I was really touched by that. I was like, it doesn't even matter where they place. When I saw that, I thought it's amazing. Just the teamwork that they showed.
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys really worked as a team and really pulled it together. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, right. So back to the robot. So the robot was not really in your control at all times. It's a machine. Something gets loose, it, you know, falls apart, whatever. What's in your control is how you react, how you are as people, that those big smiles, that you are in control of that. And this is what you girls really show, right? Whatever you did the best with your tools and what you're in control of. So I want to thank two exceptional team members who stood out this season. You.
Me?
Yeah. Raina.
You. Right, it's Esther? It's Raina.
It's Raina. So,
It's Esther too. It's Esther.
yeah, and Esther too. Everyone is exceptional, but there are two team members who particularly stood out. So, I don't know if you're aware what happened in the beginning of the year. We had two projects. Raina came up with a project, and another girl came up with a project, and they had a big debate. Whose project is better? And at the end of the day, we ended up picking this other girl's project because Raina's project was too expensive. Okay, fine. Raina could have, said, "See ya, talk to the hand. I don't want to do this anymore. You didn't pick my project. I don't care anymore." But she didn't do that. She switched gears. She got right behind this other girl's project, and she ended up leading the project. She was the #1 person on the project. Any questions on the project, Raina was the expert. And, many adults would not do that, and Raina did. And that's really, really commendable. And the other girl I want to thank is Hadar. Sure, she lives here, but she didn't have to do what she did. She, every single day, she worked with whoever came. Whichever girl came, she was there working for at least 2 hours every single day. She worked on the robot, she worked on the project, she worked on the poster, everything. She knew everything about how the robot worked, how, what the program worked, the software, the project. She knew everything about everything. And I know you were very reluctant to take this role. You kind of fell into it, and it's okay. I'm very grateful that you were there to help me out. Okay, so I want to end with a couple of thoughts. Hi, girls. So what is an engineer? Does anybody know what? I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm just going to say that not everyone liked programming, and not everyone liked building. And it's fine, because you know what? I'm an engineer, and I hardly ever program. I don't, a programmer is a programmer. But engineering is a vast, vast field. And what you girls were exposed to is a very tiny little aspect of engineering, which is the programming, the building, the project. You were exposed to a very small thing. But this is just kind of to make your feet wet, to help you girls learn how to think critically, how to think like an engineer would think. Because engineers in general think in a certain way, which is very different from other disciplines. So I want to show you guys more of what engineers do. And I'm a materials engineer, and I work in a biomedical device company. And I would like to take you to my work and show you what different engineers do and show you the product that we make, which is very, very exciting. And the girls who have been there before, I think you guys had fun when I took you to my work. Yes, you ran around. Was running around the funnest part, or actually seeing it? So I'll let you know when that will be. So basically, to sum up, we try to expose you guys to a new field. And you learn to work hard, and you learn to go beyond yourself. And I just want to end with saying that you guys can shoot for the stars. You can do anything and everything. You can shoot for the stars, but make sure you have fun doing that.